So just to give you a little bit of a background, I run Fencelite Media. It's an advertising agency specifically built for fence companies. Work with about 20 guys across America, manage a little bit over $250,000 in ad spend every single year. So you're doing Google right now, once again, and then you're trying to move also a little bit into Facebook.
Yep.
How much are you spending on Google in ads monthly?
$300 to $400 a month.
$300 to $400. Okay. How much did you guys do last year in top line?
1.7.
1.7 million.
Yeah.
So a good rule of thumb for marketing budget is take anywhere between 5 to 10% of like monthly revenue and put that into marketing, right? That's about as much money as you need in order to either stay steady where you're at, like 5% on the lower end, and then 10% is if you want to scale aggressively, right? So for example, like just to do the math, just to give you an idea, 1.7, right? Divide that by 12. So you guys are doing about 150 a month, give or take, times that by 5%. So about like, let's just round down to like 7,000 a month on marketing, right? And that's not just on Google or on Facebook. That could be spread across. Is your company on Facebook? You guys are just like posting okay here and there? Yeah, I mean, you guys are posting regularly. You guys have a good foundation. So my recommendation for you guys would to totally be companies that I see that succeed the most go both into Google and then into Facebook.
Okay.
So the thing with Google is that it's intent marketing, right? Somebody searching up fence company near me, deck company near me, they already know that they need one of those two things. So they're going to be going and finding you. Now, Facebook is interruption-based marketing. So you need to focus a little bit more on the messaging that you use. You really need to understand your ideal customer profile, right? Their pain points, how your company differentiates from your competitors, the offer that you put in place, for example, 5-year warranty, 10% off, get 200 feet of gate, get a free walkthrough, get 200 feet of fence, get a free walkthrough gate, right?
Is that where you see the most success is like when there's an offer, like a call to action or something?
Yes, that's part of it 100%. But the biggest thing that I see where fence companies mess up with when it comes to Facebook ads, like they get most of these things wrong. But commoditization is a really big one, like blending in with your competition. Anybody can take a picture of a fence and say, we're a fence company, and run it as an ad. But what makes you guys unique, right? Like you need to put a face and a story behind the brand. Poor pre-qualification, right? I mean, there's gonna be a lot of people clicking on Facebook. If you don't pre-qualify your leads the right way, also setting money on fire. Right. You don't want that. Generic copy, that's kind of like the messaging aspect of the ad. Just saying we're a fence company isn't enough anymore. Bad creative. If you make an ad that looks like an ad, people are gonna treat it like an ad. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to be, quote unquote, like have an ad put in front of them anymore. So I'm gonna show you how I move away from that with my fence companies. We're able to differentiate ourselves from their competitors, but also blend in with the platform that we're advertising on. Boosted posts, don't boost a post. The thing with boosted posts is that it also goes into wrong objective. You're not optimizing that ad. It's still considered an ad, but it's considered like an engagement and traffic ad, right? So you're not optimizing it for leads, you're just optimizing it for people to see. And the best analogy that I like to use is if you're optimizing something for traffic, it's like going into a mall, giving out 5,000 flyers. Sure, you gave out 5,000 flyers, but nobody's gonna call you back. And then when you're optimizing for like a lead campaign, it's like walking into a room with people who already want fences. You're just putting the right offer in front of them. So Facebook's AI and their learning machine has gone really, really good at actually identifying the people that are looking for your services. They scan your ad, they scan your messaging, they scan everything, and it just gets really, really good. Hey, how's it going? We're just doing a little one-on-one here. When I come in here, join, we're just talking a little bit about how to help Sean grow fence.
Sure.
Thanks for being here again, man. How's it going?
Nice to see you.
We spoke a little bit about how like Facebook ads is more about like math and consistency. It's not magic. It's like $1 in should equal $12.50 out in revenue. We went through a little bit of math, numbers that I see on average. And then we went over an actual like live case study of one of my clients. They put in August $1,500 in ads, generated 68 leads, $22 cost per lead, closed a total of 68 grand from Facebook ads alone. So $1 in was $45.33 out for them. Pretty great returns. This was their best performing ad.
What does it say?
Funnily enough, at AJ Fence and Deck, we're creating private, secure, and beautiful fences and decks in just one day with Maryland's best prices. But it's not even about what they're saying, it's the picture that we're using. It's just their guys working.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing is that
How they're doing that in a day.
because people buy from people that they like and trust.
Yeah.
The biggest place that I find success with my fence clients is when we start running personal angles like this,
Yeah.
right? Because if you're able to put a face and a story behind the brand, you're already building that trust. You're already positioning yourself as an authority. I mean, every single picture, sure, there's a fence, but it's always tied back to the owner or the crews.
We started doing that in our our posts, like adding a few like
Yeah.
in progress ones.
Yeah, absolutely. Because and always tying back to commoditization, right? You can run a picture of a fence, or you can take it up a notch and actually tie your face and your story back to your brand and your company. In terms of your primary text, so the way that an ad is structured is it goes primary text at the top, and then it goes the actual like image or video, and then it goes headline, and then depending on the placement of the ad, because there's 100 different placements that you can have on Facebook. You can either go the feed, the story, right, probably as you're familiar with. The call to action can either go next to the headline or under it. Personal angles, right, finding pictures of you in front of a fence, your guys working on a fence, you with a happy client shaking their hand. Those just all absolutely crush it. For example, I was giving out just like a template of like winning ads that I've seen across all of my fence clients. It's really easy to see a pattern here, right? There's people in every single one of them. And that's like the biggest thing. Like if I could hammer a point across, is like, guys, like get your personal angles. Like
We're marketing guys too, and I tell them the exact same thing.
Yeah,
Put your freaking face on it, man. Like,
yeah, absolutely, dude. I mean, I'm guessing you guys have a project manager,
yeah,
right? I mean, shoot, make him snap a selfie of the guys working in the back, even if it's them with their backs turned. Like here, you can't really even tell who the guys are.
yeah,
And then in terms of like video and images, test it. You know, in different markets, different things work best. I had a question yesterday about, you know, the top text here being either super long or super short, because people have like short attention spans. And we kind of talked about how in an ad, attention goes from the creative, which is the image or the video, to the headline, and then to the primary text. And they were like, oh, well, if this is the last thing, shouldn't this be super short?
yeah.
My answer is always going to be test it, right? Yeah. Different variables perform differently in different markets. You have a Facebook business page. Yeah. Do you guys have an ad account? Do you guys know how to set that up?
Yeah, it's in a,
Okay.
as far as I know.
Okay.
It took a
Cool.
while because we couldn't even get in when we bought the company. Our Instagram was in the previous owner's wife's. It was like
Oh boy.
7 months.
If you want this is just some stuff that I'm giving out at the end. 5 more like primary text, 25 more headlines that you can use. If you guys are building out a website, you probably are going to have a privacy policy.
Yes.
That's something you do need when you're setting up like instant lead forms. And then just, you know, the presentation itself, how to set up a lead form, how to set up the ads.
So I've noticed that my guy, he's really going slow with the ad spend.
Mm-hmm.
And when I ask him that, I'm like, dude, just pop that shit up to $5,000 or whatever. Just pop it. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, do not do that because Google or Facebook, if you increase your ad spend too rapidly, they'll sense desperation and they will charge you more money. Is that true?
It's not necessarily desperation, but if you scale too quick, things can crash. So you said you want to scale like 5K a month, or is that 5K a day?
A week.
A week, 5K a week, okay.
If we can get that many points, but it never uses the spend. It doesn't use our total spend right now on Google.
Well, the thing about Google is that it's an intent-based marketing platform, right? There's only so many people searching up fence company near me every single day. The thing with Facebook is that it's a little bit different. I mean, you can spend 100K a day on Facebook and it's going to use up all that money. It's an impression-based platform, interruption-based marketing platform. And it doesn't charge you per click, it charges you more based on views, right? Like your cost per millennia is a really big metric, things like that. So, but in terms of scaling budget, 20% increases every single day would be my recommendation. But then you want to make sure that all of the KPIs, your key performance indicators that you're looking at, are staying stable.
Gotcha.
Because what if you scale from like 100 a day to like 500 a day and then everything crashes? And at this point, you're burning money.
Gotcha.
So I would much...
That's what he said, you'll waste your money.
Yeah, so, and it's not more of desperation, but it's more of seeing that things are staying consistent at scale.
To see me ramp it up a bit more, they're probably going to charge more per lead, basically, or more per click, or more per whatever.
It might, like especially on Google. If you're, I think, are you guys more familiar with Google? Is that something you guys do more? Can you guys also help answer this question for me?
I think your answer is pretty spot on. Like
Okay.
you don't want to just jack it completely.
Mhm.
But if you do 20% a day, like just slowly move it up.
Yeah, slow increments.
Think about it. You have one ad for one audience. You don't know how big the audience. You don't actually know exactly how big that audience is. So if you're spending 100 a day and you jack it to 500, you could go way more than you need to spend for that audience. The same number of leads come in, but you're spending 5 times the amount. So your
Right.
cost per lead is just going to shoot up.
Gotcha.
Right.
So what he's saying is 100%. Like you want to do it in increments, so you see when you reach that plateau, and then you want to do a different ad or a different audience.
Do you guys find that content 5 times a week is too much or enough? Just videos, drone shots,
Facebook or your
testimonials. What's that?
For Facebook, for social media, or
Facebook, Google, we're running all kinds of ads, you know. So my guy's just he blisters me with content. He's like, I need content. I need content. I need content.
Facebook guys, that's a good question.
Well, look, so
On both ends, though. It's not just Facebook.
posting and running ads on Facebook is completely two different things, right? So when you're saying you're posting 5 times a week, are you just posting on social media or actually putting money into that post?
He's
Both.
doing a natural thing, just posting on our site and whatever, and then he's pushing money into it in campaigns as well.
I'd have to look at how your campaigns are structured and what you're doing, because if you're boosting posts, just stop. We talked a little bit about this.
I'll let you look at our content because I got 2 companies.
Well, I need to actually see the back end of it. Is this you?
Yeah.
You guys aren't even running ads on Facebook.
Okay. Well, if you go to our Facebook page, hold on a second. Let me see that real quick.
So it says, maybe this could be a glitch, this could be a glitch, but it says this page is not currently running ads.
that's interesting. You know, you can see.
Right, so I can see like I know you guys are posting.
Yeah.
I actually think I've seen one of you around actually on social media.
media.
But it's interesting that your ads aren't showing up when I go to the transparency center. Like page transparency, this page is not currently running ads. I should say that this page is currently running ads, and when I click see all, I can go over to ads library, and it's gonna show me the type of ads that you're running. So that's a really cool trick that you can do to spy on your competitors, by the way. The thing could be that maybe you guys are boosting posts, and I'm pretty sure that boosted posts do not show up under Transparency Center. You want to get leads, so always optimize for leads. I had a question come up, I think we kind of talked about this, traffic engagement, right? Sure, you're reaching more people, but the intent is going to be way lower. Facebook is also a platform that's ever changing. I think they're pushing out like an update a week at this point in terms of like their ads manager. So I always run it as an ad set budget if you're running one ad set. Advantage Plus for local lead campaigns, I still turn it off. Meta's AI is getting really powerful if you're running like national sales campaigns, stuff like that for like e-commerce. For local lead gen, I still want to have more control over it. So that's all you really want to do, right, in terms of the campaign level, ad set budget, and that's it. For the ad set, this is something that Facebook actually just pushed out yesterday. So I was doing my presentation setting this up and I'm like, this is new. But you can either have multiple conversion locations now or just one. When I'm starting off with my clients, I always just start off with instant forms because I just want to see if the ad is actually performing the way that it should be in terms of clicks. Connect your Facebook page here, accept the terms of conditions. For the performance goal, either maximize number of leads or maximize number of conversion leads. I like to start off with maximize number of conversion leads. Just, try to put my ad in front of more people who are actually going to convert into paying customers. Data say you don't need that. Now, dynamic creative, this is really important. What dynamic creative does is it gives you the option to be able to test multiple different variables in one ad. So you can have, for example, max 10 images, 5 primary text, and then 5 headlines. All of these images aren't going to show up in a row in an ad, but you're able to mix and match different images with different primary text and different headlines. And then after a few weeks go by and you have enough data, you're able to optimize, trim the losers, keep the winners, and that's how you're able to keep on dropping your cost per lead, increasing your quality of leads. What's up?
Every variation and the data will show you all the variations and all the analytics for it.
So you can break it down based on like primary text, headline, and creative. Unfortunately, it doesn't show you every single possible variation that it has, But if you're seeing that a primary text is completely underperforming, like it's getting 0.3, link click-through rate, then just cut it out, right?
Automatically commingle them. You don't have to go through and set
No. When you're doing a dynamic test creative, it automatically does. You just need to give it the necessary.
30 days, roughly.
So I have like a little bit of a cycle that I do. So first month is like testing, right? We're just seeing what works. At about like, I would say, depending on the ad spend that we're doing, 2 to 4 weeks is when I begin to look at the data and begin to optimize, right? So trimming all the fat, like seeing what variables are underperforming, removing those, keeping everything that's working. If we're already reaching a really stable cost per lead, maybe it could even happen within like 2 to 4 weeks where we're already performing really well and we don't even need to do any rounds of optimizations. Then we can talk about like scaling, right? And that's about the 20%. Companies that succeed the most is once they have organic and paid ads both dialed in. Paid ads is both Google ads and Facebook ads, right? Intent marketing, interruption-based marketing. Like you need to have full stack marketing if you want to really.
He's on the right path.
Yeah, he's doing the right thing.
These guys don't, they're still building in the background.
Right, it takes organic 100% takes time. The thing about Facebook ads, you can launch a campaign and 48 hours later you have leads, right? With organic, something that for sure it takes time.
Gotcha.
In terms of budget, something we talked about a little bit, minimum that I would recommend at $30 a day. Nothing less. That's about 1 to 3 leads that are coming in on average from what I'm seeing. Per day? Yeah, per day. Of course, that's depending on the forms that you have in place, the friction that you have in place, how many people you're reaching in your local service areas, etc. For audiences, I'm still doing original audience. So Facebook is really they're really pushing out Advantage Plus and their AI learning algorithms, all this stuff. They really kind of want to let their system do the targeting for, these campaigns. Once again, sales, e-commerce, fine. They can do that if you're running a nationwide campaign. If we're doing local, I still want to have a little bit more control over what's happening. So that's why I always go with original audience. For age, I just like to set it to 25 to 65. I had a conversation, I think, yesterday from you about age, right? Test it. You know your market better than I do. If you think that more people 45 to 65 are going to be reaching out, you can already preset it to that. This is just something, it's almost a habit that I've had, with just setting it to this, and we're still getting really good results. Because if you're setting it to 45 to 65, you can almost narrow down your audience too much, and you don't want to do that either. So you always want to have minimum, when you're setting your radius and your audience, there's going to be this like audience definition thing where it's going to tell you how much people you're targeting, roughly. I would say like no less than 500,000 should be in that like radius circle. Of course, it can be less, but at that point, like your cost per millennia, which is your cost per 1,000 people to reach, could start going up, and that could also be an issue, right? So just these are all numbers to kind of keep in mind. You can absolutely go with zip codes as well. At the end of the day, it's like, what is your objective, right? You can either have less leads at a higher cost, but they're more high quality, right? That's something I'm doing for a company in California where
That would be ideal instead of getting inundated with leads and going out to jobs that. But
right.
I agree with what this gentleman said. So my area is like a $300,000 house, and then folks got to save up because fence is a cash business.
Right, absolutely.
So now they have to say, hey, honey, I'm comfortable spending $6,000, $7,000 on the fence. Usually a 25, 26-year-old is not going to be at that level. Like I like 30-year-old. I'm looking for our suburbs. I'm looking for away from our downtown areas. I'm looking, I don't want to be within a mile of,
Yeah. Right.
county housing, stuff like that, where my fence will literally cost 20% of the cost of a house.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
It's just a waste of resources, I think. And it's wasting your salesman because your salesman have to do an estimate somewhere. Now they're inundated trying to write leads for jobs that people aren't going to buy.
Absolutely, which is why you also need to have the systems and processes in place to be able to pre-qualify the leads before you even send your salesman out there, right?
The way we work is, and that's what I was curious about, that Facebook leads is anything we do, they all call in the office. We have 3 girls in the office that do appointments and everything.
Right. Speed to lead, really important.
So, is that how that would work through?
Yeah, instantly, as fast as you can.
I guess the idea is you can select zip code.
You can select zip codes, you can exclude specific locations and areas. Cool thing with Facebook is that it does give you a lot of customization that you can do in terms of your targeting. Also depends on the offer that you're running. Like if you're a company that offers financing, right, maybe it does make sense to also target those lower area zip codes.
Would you agree that content's everything?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Content is everything, but you can also, I've also ran ads for companies who have no content and the ads still crush for them. I mean, if you're putting the right offer, they're not, yes, sometimes people then go click on your page, take a look, then go back to the ad. But people are scrolling, they see something they like, boom, fill out the form. I mean, content is still important. I still, advise all of my clients to stay consistent with the content that they're posting every single week. Right, still get something out there, keep on building that trust, keep on showcasing that you're a legit company. You guys are doing a very good job of this as well. So now for locations, 25-mile radius, give or take, just giving you an example here. Reach more people are likely to respond to your ads, turn this off. Every single time, this is really important. So what this does is, for example, somebody wants to visit Amherst from like Florida, right? They have like family there, they're just searching up your location. Because they searched up your location, they showed interest in it, your ad is also gonna show up to somebody who is just interested in this area. Turning this button off sets a very strict barrier of, hey, we only want to target Amherst and a 25-mile radius, that's it.
Yeah, I get fence company ads from like all over the country.
Dude, I saw one from Houston today, dude. And like, I want to tell them, I want to advise them like, hey, fix your targeting, but I have a client in Houston, so like, This one right here, super important to turn it off. Yeah. What Facebook does, scans the ad, primary text, headline, actual image itself. Like when you say something next to your phone and then you see an ad for it like 20 minutes later and you feel like your phone is listening to you? They're getting so crazy good at it, it's insane. Sometimes it's a lead a day. Like that's just what I'm seeing on average.
Like, Facebook leads are in general maybe not as solid as like Google leads.
Yeah, absolutely. Because, dude, it's two different types of marketing. It's intent versus interruption. When somebody on Google is searching up fence company near me, they are in the market for it, right? With Facebook, it's really important to have, like on Google, you can have name, phone number, email, and it's already a quality lead. On Facebook, which is one of the things I talked about yesterday, what people get wrong is having no pre-qualification process, where they treat Facebook the same way they treat Google, name, phone number, email. Facebook, you need to have at least 2 pre-qualifying questions. You need to verify their phone number. You need to have a high intent lead form. You can either get super crazy with it where you can have a question, and if they select the wrong answer that doesn't suit your business, you can completely disqualify them from the form, and you don't even, that doesn't even count as a lead for you. But at the same time, as I mentioned again, I'm gonna keep on hammering down this point, companies that succeed the most that I work with have both Google and Facebook ads running. Those two work hand in hand. For languages, English. Now for placements, if Advantage Plus is still on for you, you can sometimes turn it off in the campaign level. Here I can't, so I kind of have to do this manually. I would always recommend to test every single placement that you have, but I don't think I've ever generated any of my fence clients a lead through Audience Network. So that's just something I turn it off, just so we can turn Advantage Plus off. Ad level, multi-advertiser ads, turn this off. What this does, when you get hit on Facebook or on Instagram with like 4 different ads back to back, that's what multi-advertiser ads is. I turn that off because you want to position your ad one of one. And now for ad creative, right, let's just say you already have your 10 personal angles, right, boom, just select them. I'm just gonna do 5 for the sake of this, right? The primary text itself, take this, throw this in here. I would also say to turn off optimize creative for each person, right? Because there's possible enhancements and you can't control those. You want to have as much control over the ad as possible. Right? You want to be able to control specific variables that are in your ad. Then you can add 4 more primary texts. I gave you some options that you can have in here. I can give this to you after. And then headline as well, 25 different or 30 different headlines that you can use, right? That I've just seen perform over and over again. Advantage plus creative text generation, turn that off. You didn't write that, right? Once again. Then for the description, I just put a space here because what I want to do is give the headline as much real estate in the ad as possible. If you start typing something in the description, it's going to start cropping the headline, and you don't want that. Yeah. So you can also like throw an emoji in there, right? Fence company in Maricopa. And then we didn't really go over this, but on the primary text, some things that we talked about, is, introducing yourself. You almost want to make it like it's a text or an email to like a friend. Express that like, we love building fences, yada, yada. Then you want to identify specific pain point, right? Like the biggest reason why we see that fence companies in Maricopa want to install fences is because, they want to keep their livestock safe and peace of mind. We decided to build a solution, and then unique selling proposition, which is how do you differentiate yourself from your competitors? And then we want to set the frame of if you want to get a quote, you need to fill out the form below and get in contact with us, right? Because sometimes people on Facebook get in touch with you and they're like, how much is this going to cost, right? And really clearly want to set the frame here that, hey, it needs to be an in-home inspection in order for us to give you an accurate price. Now, because we want to keep it congruent everywhere, so click on Get Quote down below. We want to make sure that it says Get Quote here as well. And then for the instant forms, I have a video showing how this should be set up, but I'm going to go through this as well. So first of all, always set it as higher intent, right? We want to create a little bit more friction within the lead form just so we can keep on weeding out those tire kickers, and then require leads to verify their phone number with a one-time passcode. This is really important, right? Because I don't know, like sometimes in the past when you're running ads, somebody puts in their phone number, you try to call them, disconnected line. Sucks, right? Because you paid for that lead. So having this here actually makes people provide a phone number that they actually have access to, right? Which is really, really important. For flexible form delivery, I turn this off. Once again, I can't control what questions it's going to put. Therefore, I turn it off. For the intro, you want to keep it congruent with what they're signing up for. If you advertise the free fence estimate, make it known that they're signing up for a free fence estimate. In the description, you can put just a few things, like for example, position yourself as an authority. If you have 5-star reviews on Google, sweet. Free estimates and consultations. For this specific client, I have 2 different questions, right? Estimated length of fence, and then how soon do they want, some sort of project timeline. You can ask them material, the type of material that they're looking for, if they're even looking for a fence, if you want to have a really like low barrier to entry question. A new one that I'm testing is why are you looking to get a fence in the first place, right? Maybe like wear and tear, right? Like whatever it is, right? What is their pain point behind getting a fence? So then you can leverage that when you're actually selling to them. Yeah. Basic contact info, full name, email, phone number, zip code, privacy policy. Something also provide an example if you need that, if you want to like launch ads ASAP, right? They need to verify their phone number, and then thank you for your interest, you're almost done. And then you can have an additional action at the end. They can either go ahead and visit your website, they can give you a call, or they can click this button and it's going to say, hi name, thanks for getting in contact with us. This is the information you provided. Is it correct? Right? And that's going to get all sent out on Messenger. That's pretty much how you set up Facebook ads for your fence company.
Thank you.
Any questions for me?